Hi, y'all. All right. So, this is going to be a little controversial because, the truth is that the truth is controversial. And when you're trying to go against belief with truth and vice versa, it's a different ball game altogether. If you're believers, then you're trusting something that you believe in, but that doesn't make it real or true. And that's all I'm trying to say is that we are being misled on a big, big scale. And so, in this misleading, there is it's windy out here. It's supposed to storm really bad. Um, I'll get to that. But yeah, so we are being misled. We are in a big way. We're not understanding what, the basic, what is happening all around us. We can't see it. And I'm here to change that in the sense of use your spiritual eyes and see them. See how things are done. They're done by a systematic way of doing things, tied to a calendar so they can make history. What's history? His story. So when you're finding out his story, whose story? It would be Jesus as far as the calendar. That's our new calendar, is the Jesus fish calendar. Fish having to do with Pisces. So once you understand, they're taking symbolism and they're putting a story behind it. That's all of our movies, that's all of our cartoons, all of our religions, it's all of it. This is why I say more so I'm more spiritual than religious, because I know what that religious comes with. It has you, feeling like people are going to go to hell, for doing things. God isn't evil. You go to hell here. I've seen it happen. I knew people who were going to get really bad karma, and guess what? They got it. you know, and I didn't wish that on them. I knew it was coming, and I just didn't know it would be as bad as it was. And so all I'm saying is, you know, there's a law here, a spiritual law. So if you're doing the right things, you get good back. But there's also a thing called contrast where you got to deal with things that, challenge you and test you. And so when you're going through that, it's like a spiritual test. This is spiritual warfare. So we have to understand how we're getting played in all of it, because it's it's a beautiful truth. And so once you learn God is truthful, God is real, you can, and God to me is the creator. And so when I say God, I mean the creator of creation, the one who gave us the ability to grow our intelligence, to take the truth, see it, and then put that truth up against all other things, opinions, beliefs, uh, word of mouth, uh, the mainstream, because that's where it all comes from. And they're the teachers, they're the builders. So they build fiction and make it seem real. And this is where we got to go, y'all. Like, if you can take someone's belief and get them to believe something, and you got millions, if not billions, of people, actually, if it's that many people, you know, believing in something that none of us can prove. What I'm telling you, you can prove. And that's the beautiful thing about truth. It's evidence. You can point to what you're saying. And a lot of people aren't going to be ready for that truth because, you know, your lives, or their lives, I should say, depend on that. And there's nothing wrong with it in the sense of, you know, Jesus' teachings. He was the best teacher. So if Jesus is the best teacher, you can always go back to that book and listen to what Jesus had to say. But that's not God. That's a middleman. And then anytime you put anything in front of something, it's something going on with that. If it's a middleman, it's some kind of deal. It's some kind of something. And God don't work like that. I used to ask God, like, can I pray to you without Jesus? Because there was a few things that tested my belief in Jesus. And so when I went through that, I still stayed with Jesus all the way up until I was 37, but I still had questions. And so as a kid, I would say, I'm just gonna pray to you, God, because I don't like the fact that I can't pray to you. I have to go through someone else. That's how spiritual and insightful I was. And so God gave me the ability to see I can talk to him, and he operates the same way he did as when I was a Christian. The same way. He had my back, he had my front, he had my side, just like he does now. He, she, her, them. I see it as, Mother Earth, Father Sky. It's two, it's not one. But then you get somebody to give you a man in the sky who operates like us, but he's not even a good, like, nice dude. He's a vengeful dude. No, he not. God is love. So, that book is going to have you thinking in a religious mindset. I think spiritually. My spiritual intelligence is top notch. I feel like, because I've gone through the toughest things and I've overcome them spiritually. That's how I was able to do it. Mentally, physically, and spiritually is how I get through the toughest things. And decided to be someone who helps, someone who's in service. But I'm not going to hide the truth, y'all. I can't do it. I got to tell it like it is. I love y'all. So that's what I'm going to do, y'all. I'm going to come correct with it. And I'll lose people on the channel all day, because this is about realizing who are the characters that we're being given in these stories, in these movies. They're not just coming up with it like willy-nilly. They are in the sense of the imaginative way to tie it to a template in the sky, so it registers like it's happening in real time with the sky at that time. This is code or the backdrop. They're making it like they're God. So everything has to be like tied to the sky and down to the ground. As above, so below. So you got the stars up there, all kinds of constellations, planets. Those are gods. Certain constellations, they be God. The one that's the highest at the top, you can call them God every night when the wheel rotates, and it's a different zodiac at the top of the wheel. Y'all gotta understand. And you can see it on the star map. You can see the wheel on the star map. Just get on Stellarium and you'll see, like, it's a wheel. The sun, the moon, the planets, they all like rise in the east, set in the west. And our zodiac signs, every single one of them, all 12. And so when you have that going on, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning and it goes under the horizon. So when the sun and the planets and all of the constellations, they go under the horizon, well, that's hell. That's Hell. That's hell, and that's the sun is down there. That's why they call it the down under, because the sun is down under when it's our nighttime. And so they do mirror image things with Gemini, and it's just amazing. They're builders. So they know what they're doing to the fullest, and they've been doing it for eons. And so we're none the wiser to it. This brotherhood, this, you know, society driven and created by the ones who give us everything we have, the sports, the movie stars, the singers. They promote influence. And so we watch certain movies, we listen to certain music and watch videos, and we're influenced in some kind of form or fashion. And that's the beautiful thing. My throat's so dry. Excuse me. And so it's just like, man, we got to start giving each other more credit, giving each other, you know, more love. We only here once, y'all, in this life. And then we move on to the next. But in this life, this is it. What you gonna do with it? I'm making history in the sense of God's spiritual history. This is this is for the ancestors that I know are proud of me for standing on the truth, and I will continue to stand on the truth. We are believing in politics, the whole show, the whole circus, thinking our vote counts, thinking all these things that are about groupthink. But then when you get a group, so many people, we lose our intelligence because there's nobody standing up to be the individual except for the politicians that they give us that say, okay, these are your two. Wait, what? Okay, you had this many people, but who are they? We don't know them. This is about realizing what is going on here is meant to be going on here. All the confusion, all the chaos, all the not knowing what is going on. We think it's wars at hand. We don't realize Hollywood is at play in a lot of it. The prime minister is Kevin Spacey. That's correct. Benjamin, whatever, Yatinhu or something like that. That's Kevin Spacey. I've known that for years too. I'm not playing with y'all, man. This is ridiculous. You have to watch them give multiple interviews, like, and just watch them and study it and see the mask, see who's behind the mask. Look real deeply. Look, you'll see them. You know, it's they got preachers. What's the one? Joel Osteen. That's old boy from Meet the Parents, the blonde dude. I can't think of his name. He got a real good movie, Enemy of the Enemy something, where he's like a spy and he goes with Gene Hackman. Yo, that joint is on point. I can't think of the name of it, but yeah, I think that's Joel Osteen, and that's what they do. They use your favorite like comedian. They'll use your favorite rapper. They'll use your favorite basketball star or football star in a news story and or on a show that's promoting like serial killing, uh, racist killings, all this kind of stuff. These are people like setting a narrative. They're telling you what the world is like, and it's not. I mean, there is a lot of knuckleheads, and there's a lot of people doing things they had no business doing because they haven't learned that they matter. we we base everything on money, and we never give these kids enough value when they're growing up. You can't give somebody more value than the truth. When you give them that, that's an inheritance. That's something they can grow with. That's something they can stand on. You know, I'm willing to stand against any and everybody who is wrong. You want to come at me with your beliefs and your opinions, I'm sorry, it's not going to stand up to the truth. I got to stand with the Creator. And what God has shown me is we're being played on every side. Like we could never imagine it. All of us, every single body. Even the celebrities are played because of what they got to do. Like I wouldn't never want to live that kind of life where you got to deceive people through news stories and through 2020 and all this kind of shit. Yeah, that's what they use. Those are their channel. It's the media. So you have to realize that they own all the TV stations, so they can promote anything that they want. They can make you like look like somebody evil. Hey, I'm protected by the Creator. I'm gonna stand on the truth no matter what. So it's the wheel in the sky that keeps on turning, and that's what they're using against us with these stars. the stars play the stars in the sky. And so when you can see they're emulating Orion, Taurus, maybe Leo, if it's a mention of a lion, they're talking about Leo. So we have to understand what are they doing with their words? They're not really meant for English. Their words are symbolic. It's English to us. That's the language that we use. But they speak symbolically. And when you can see what that symbology really is and how they're doing this, it's remarkable. I mean, it's really, really remarkable to see an intelligence stripped from a template of what really happens in the sky. This really happens in the sky every day, every night. They rotate above the horizon, under the horizon, just like the sun, the moon, the planets, and all of our zodiacs, and other zodiacs too. And so you have to realize those are the superheroes. Those are the characters that they're emulating. And so if they're emulating something that's happening on the night when Venus is in Orion's hand, that's that could be rape, that could be his lover because she's love. But they are demented, so they even have horror stories for Venus being like what's his name? The devil? Yeah. We have to realize, man, it's like it's a play on our minds with all of what they're saying. Um, Lucifer, not the devil. And we decoded Lucifer, the devil. Are they the same things? And it's another one, another term. We decoded it. It's on our channel, Eclectic Life Works. We decode the devil, what the devil really is. And so it's all about that, man. For me, is I'm gonna keep pushing. If the channel gets cut, the channel gets cut. I'm gonna just keep on moving. I'll rebuild a new channel. Hopefully y'all can find me. But for anybody, if I do get cut off of the tube, then I'm at D's Divine Tarot 411. But I'm not gonna stop talking the truth, y'all. I'm gonna go with my foot on the gas. That's really what this is. My foot on the gas and truth. I'm finna come because we need to learn. Like anybody that wants to see our work with who Jesus really is and how they use it. Use the characters. The two thieves are Gemini. When Jesus is getting crucified, that's Gemini. And then you have the mother or the wife in Taurus, and that is Mary and the other Mary. And then they also are Gemini because they're playing double roles. And they use it for man, woman, they use it for sons, they use it for mother and father-in-law, all this kind of stuff. So we have to realize it's a template being used in the stories. I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes. I know your beliefs are strong in what you believe in, so are mine. No, let me take that back. They were. I don't believe in nothing, y'all. I don't believe in myself. I don't believe in God. No, why would I have to believe in God? God is all around me. God is all around you. And that's the creator of creation. There's many gods. The creator of creation isn't in a book. He's everywhere. She's everywhere. They're everywhere. And you got our ancestors that's helping too. They're trying to get us to wake up and see what the truth is about who we really are. How you gonna know who you are? How you gonna know? The only way to know who you truly are is to know the truth and then stand in it. Because once you learn the truth, that's not the work. That's a huge part of the work. But to stand in the truth and walk it out and speak it out, yeah, that's everything, y'all. And we need more people standing in the truth for God, for spirit. We got a lot of people imitating rappers, imitating, movie stars. Everybody wants to be an actor. Well, you're acting every time you work and have to do some kind of customer service thing because you deal with all kinds of people. and I'm great at customer service. I won awards. I met the mayor of Orlando for it. So I walked the red carpet. I almost won the top prize. So yeah, this is about truth. It's good people in the world, but there's also truth, and we have to stand on it, y'all. Without standing on it and knowing it, we're being deceived on the biggest levels that you could ever imagine. And that's why I gotta keep talking. I gotta let it be. A lot of my videos haven't been getting watched lately. Maybe it's because I'm turning to the stars and teaching it, but it's my most crucial work as well as my spiritual service. Beautiful. Look at that crab. He's huge. And so this is just about, doing what I'm here to do. Free minds. Once you get your mind freed and you can see how they're doing things, you can't get played in that system because it's all tied to a sky. And really, that's just what it's about, you know, just not getting duped, just not believing in things that you think are real that are fictional. They're created in Hollywood. So even the bombings, we've seen horrible bombing stuff and all kinds of war movies, but then we get so shocked when we see the news and they're bombing. Yo, it's Hollywood. They do that. You you better believe, no, you better know that they do that. Why wouldn't they do that? And then just turn down the tint and the color so it's not like as vibrant as the stuff over here. Yeah, no, but sometimes they do blur the screen on purpose. So we gotta understand, y'all. It's this is bigger than you know us. It's all about us. This is how we can see we are the real stars, and this is how you can know yourself and know the truth. And can't nobody convince you of anything. That's what it's about, y'all. Nobody can, not the president, not a senator, not a governor, none of them can tell me anything. If it ain't true, I'll know. And that's what it is. It's like you're trying to make things be what you're saying they are, political correct, or, you can even say groupthink, because that's what it is. They get us to groupthink and think like each other. We might be split on certain things, but there's still the narrative of one or two ways, like the Republicans and Democrats, and then squeeze us together in division. Everybody got their own opinion, when really it just comes down to being soul family. It comes down to being a decent person. It comes down to doing the right things, not treating people badly, not manipulating, not like you got to pay it all back. And we don't realize that. These kids don't realize everything that they're doing, they're going to pay it back, not only in jail, but other consequences. Life has it already mapped out. Once we make a choice or a decision to do something, then there's like consequences for that down the road. Every single thing that we do. And it's not always a consequence. Sometimes you can fix it. You can fix what you've done if it's not too bad. Anything you can really fix, because that's how the creator is. The creator is not evil. The creator is not mad. There is a vengeance, but it's already set in the laws of how life works. So when something happens and you've been doing all this messed up stuff and it finally catches up to you in a way you would never expect. I've seen somebody die that way. I've seen people go to jail for 20 years that way. A bunch of people, and it's remarkable because they set us up in the trap. They get us to do, the influences of what's out there. And what do we have? The best hip hop in the world. the 90s, the 80s before that, it was a lot of breakdancing. It was a lot of clear, like clean stuff for the most part. And then you had Beat Street, you had breaking, you had all these kind of hip hop movies, Crush Groove, and the music was popping. And so you take that influence and put all kinds of influences into the kids, into us as kids. A lot of us got that stuff when we were 10, 11. You know, LL Cool J was killing it. Cool Mo D, they was, they still was clean, but they still say what they say, At the same time, we're influencing people. It's a lot of things like we're influenced by or have desire for it. And, you know, that's how that goes. Like those desires for the things we want, that's a beautiful part of life. To be able to desire and really want something, just make sure it's in natural law, it's in God's law. It's in nature's laws of how things work here because you can't steal. This is all about stealing. What's stealing? So it's everything. Like Mark Passio says, it's the stealing of your wife. If someone's cheating or your husband, that's stealing. If someone cheats with someone else, that's stealing. Stealing the truth from your mate, stealing the truth on the other side as the guy or the woman to that guy or woman, or maybe to their guy or woman too. And so this is how it works, y'all. It's influence. And then we see, oh, they're doing it. I can do that. And that's how it's been since the dawn of time. And we don't realize the influence of it. We just think, yeah, we're people. That's true. But at the same time, y'all, agendas of an influence, you know, that's where we're got. Because when you're trying to be a part of something and you really think you're a part of it, like what you say matters in it. That's the thing. Like what we say and think and what they promote in politics are just stories. They already have an agenda of how everything is laid out, what they're going to do. It's a script, just like West Wing. Remember that with the president? Yeah, that's what they're telling us. It's all a script. And so we got to wise up and realize the stars that they're using in those shows are templated in the sky, like Leo. It could be Aquarius, like Aquaman. Aquaman is Aquarius, the water bearer. So we got to realize, how they're using those stars and constellations above. Batman is Taurus. If you look at the constellation Taurus, it looks just like Batman. And so his Batmobile, his emblem, all of that is Taurus. And we got to realize like Superman is the Eye of Ra. So that's a combination of constellations. I already put this video out called Superstars, Spiritual Superstars. And it's an amazing video. Nobody's watching it. And I show you Batman, I show you Thor, I show you some sneak surprises in there from my generation of somebody who's being portrayed by those constellations. I gotta use the bathroom. I done walked all the way back. And so I'm just saying, y'all, it's time to wise up. Like everything we're given has a backstory and a backstory behind that. Because this is how you create history, how you create the world around you into a fiction where you don't know anything, you don't learn anything, you die thinking you knew things. No, we know what we're given, nothing outside of that. Ever since we were kids, we've been taking what they give us. That's our cartoons, that's our, you name it, our cars, All of that is the same thing. Car logos tied to the sky. Chevrolet, Taurus, uh, because that's tied to Isis. She used to spread her arms like that because sometimes she's referred to as a bird, sometimes she's uh, referred to as either a hawk or a falcon, or sometimes she's referred to like a cat. And so we gotta understand, y'all, this is symbolism. And Isis and her man, he is Ophiuchus. I can't think of it. Osiris. So that's her man. And we show you the whole story that they're giving us and how they laid it out with the specifics of the sun, which is amazing. And a lot of times it's tied to the solstices, like the the daylight savings time, which is a time travel. So once you're doing daylight savings time and they have a movie out like Back to the Future, uh, we show you all the characters in Back to the Future, who they were. And it's beautiful. You could do that with your family and friends and start showing them who they are in the sky. Marty McFly is Cetus. Yeah, that's a constellation above us all the time, every day and every night. They're either up in the daytime or under the horizon, and then they're going to turn, and then they're going to come up either during the daytime or the other ones will be up at night because it's a wheel. It's all of the constellations, like zodiac constellations. It's the planets, it's the sun, it's the moon, and they all travel in that wheel. And so once you learn that template and see, oh, okay, so the X-Men, I'd show you who they are in the video, and that superstar, spiritual superstar. So check it out if you're interested. But I'm going to keep on creating, man. I'm going to keep on talking. I'm going to keep on putting out the truth. This next video is going to blow a lot of people's minds. They might not be able to see it. I'm cool with that if y'all can't see it. I'm going to show y'all enough examples over time that you will be able to see it because they do it all the time, every day, every night. They're either on the news channel, because they do that, or they're on like some kind of daytime talk show. We getting played, y'all, because all they're doing is switching a character, switching from their actor self, be it Halle Berry, be it Denzel Washington, be it Mary J. Blige, all of our favorites, and then put them in a news story. Have them be a cop. Have them be, let's be cops. Yeah, like that movie. Yeah, I never even seen it, but I know about it. And that's what they're doing. Let's make believe and get them to go with the story that is templated to the sky. It copies the sky. At the time of the story, the characters are doing the same thing in the sky as above, so below. You can make a murder happen in the sky with Orion. He has a bow, or he has a gun, or he has a bat. He can do anything. He got all kinds of weapons. So that's who Orion is. He's like a god. He's like Orion is the king of the world. That's Michael Jackson. All the things Michael Jackson does with throwing his hand up, and the moon is also Michael Jackson because he travels from the new moon to the full moon. So that's what his moonwalk is about. His whole moonwalk is that. It's traveling from the east side to the west side. That's why he always starts east of the stage. And then he goes back from there. Then he comes back the other way because then you go to the underground and then you're coming back up. You're going to rise up in the east again after going down in the west. And so that's what the moon does, the sun does, the planets, and all of our zodiac constellations. And so these people are imitating what's going on in the sky. So I broke down the whole Michael Jackson video where I'm showing you each video how it's tied to the moon. His moonwalk, his, you know, Beat It, Thriller. Who are the characters in that video? I show you. His girlfriend, she's Pisces. So we have to understand the symbolism of what they're showing us and the backstory behind it. It's a it's a backstory. It might not seem that important, but when you see it's everything, I mean everything that we are given has some kind of template to that sky template because they're playing God and they're playing it by as above, so below. And it's a beautiful gift, man. That's all I'm trying to give y'all is the truth. Take it or leave it. It's so much to know. It's so much to free yourself from. It's so much beauty in the Creator for giving this to us. Giving us a chance to learn better and do better and teach the kids better and not fall for it, because that's the only way things are going to change, y'all. There's been no progress since I've been born. It's the same go around, you know. Only progress is us and our families, our kids having kids. Well, we have kids. I never had any, but that's how it happens. And nothing happens outside of that. We vote every 4 to 8 years. Nothing is changing, y'all. We keep on believing in the same things. Ain't y'all tired of believing in the same things and nothing ever changes? Yeah, because we got to change it. We got to change ourselves. We got to change oof, the things that are in our subconscious, the things that are like make us superstitious. All of that is in the sky. So whatever superstition you believe, that happens in the sky. The broom, I don't know if you ever heard about the broom. Don't let it sweep your feet. That's Cetus and Pisces. I'm gonna do a video about that because I did a video about not about superstition ain't the way, something mythical creatures, something else, and superstition ain't the way. And I explained to you who fairies are, who is Sasquatch. Yeah, that's Bigfoot. Bigfoot is Cetus and Pisces. Pisces can play like he's hair or sharp claws or sharp teeth because it can take that shape. And so symbolically, that's how they do it. They'll take, and Cetus is known also as the beast. He's like a beast. Like he could be a child, he could be a boy or a girl, but that's who they were. Like back in the day in Egypt, they were known as like angelic children and I can't even say it, angelic baby. And so with wings, his wings are Pisces, or he looks like a little boy in the sky. Sometimes, in movies they use men and women as Cetus. It depends on the story and what they're saying, but they can fit it to the template, especially if you got a bald head. Because Cetus has like a bald head, but he also looks like he got a ball cap on his head with his Pinocchio nose. So it's really cool, man, how they do it. But it's a gift to know how they do it and see it and let it work for you. It's beautiful because Monopoly, all these games they give us, they come from somewhere. They didn't just think of them. They're templated in the sky. So if we can understand how things are really being played, then, I just feel like we're going to be way better people. We'll be able to see the things that we need to see. We'll be able to, going too far, will we be able to change what we need to change, y'all? And that's just reality from fiction. We're going from fiction to reality, and that's going to change a lot of things because you're going to be standing still with God. You're still going to be standing with the creator of creation if you choose to do so. That to me, that's the real God. But when you take the lies and see them for, or the fiction for what it is, and then you see the truth, then you'll know who the real God is. It's just a normal thing because everything else will fall away, and then you'll realize God is still God. It's the creator of creation. Look at this water. God created that. This is amazing. That's all God. All the creator of creation. That's why, I'm going to try to check myself about saying God so much because it's the creator. It's the creator of creation, not the one in the book. The one in the book is crazy. He got people about to kill their kid for him. No God would want you to do that. I'm sorry. No God would want you to do that. He's a jealous God. No, he's not. Sorry. That's not true. You can believe all the hype. You can believe every book, every verse is not true. I mean, it's true. They tied it to the sky, and that's the true story. What's happening in the sky because the stars or the characters in the story are emulating the stars. So that's how it's true. It's true in the stars, but down here it's a fiction. That's the best way I can explain it is because they're trying to get you to believe in things that could never happen. They have never happened. And we don't realize some of the same things they're saying some of these gods did has already been done by Orion and other gods and planets. So I was tripping when I found out Orion walked on water before Jesus. I was like, what? And this is way before I knew uh, Jesus wasn't. This is way after the fact that I knew Jesus wasn't God. I've known that for almost 10 years. And so I'm not trying to switch anything. If that's your God, by all means, stick with your God. I'm not trying to get you to change your God. I'm talking in truth. In truth, that's a combination of the Sun, S-U-N, and you can say the S-O-N, however you want to do it, because it's God's Son. God created it. And so then you got Pisces. Pisces is the year of our Lord. That's the Jesus fish. Those are the two fishes. So any kind of ocean and sea references, a lot of times that's Cetus and Pisces. Cetus is known as the whale, actuality. But at the same time, they use them for other symbols and other like characters in a story, in a movie, in a book, in a song. It's all the same thing, all over a ribbon in the sky for our love. That's Pisces. Pisces is the ribbon. So we don't understand like Venus is in the mix, Orion is in the mix. Uh, could be Gemini as the lovers, because that's what they are. And the Gemini is the lover's card. And so you gotta understand like everything can be shown to you how they came up with what they coming up with. Even the news stories, once you can see like all these races, people getting killed. No, they're not. No, they're not dying. There are people that do die from police brutality, but when it's a major news story, most likely that is an act. They do it all the time to keep us divided, to say we'll never get no justice, or the other side to say, man, that's messed up. Or some of them be like, yeah, that's what he get. And we the same way. We the same way on the same other side of the token where we're the same way. We think the same way as the other side in the sense is he gets what he gets. But we don't know. These stories are stories for us to talk about. Did you hear about? And there we go running with the story because we seen it before we left for work. It's this. I used to think the news was the greatest. I was informed. I knew about politics. And then Obama got in office, and I'm like, everything's gonna change. I'm gonna vote for the first time. Ain't nothing changed, y'all. It's not meant to. The whole script, the whole thing that they're saying on, in the papers, on television, on the internet, it's all scripted. It's meant to be what is being said. It's not really a battle like we think it is, where they're trying to go back and forth and come to terms where, okay, we're going to move on this, pass the bill. Yeah, but it's all bullshit. You need to change that BILL to BULL, because it's all bull. That's all they doing, man. Just playing with us in the sense of keep them where they're at. We got them thinking they're floating through space, spinning at the same time. I'm telling y'all, man, this is a still earth. We don't move. Everything else moves, but we don't. We might get an earthquake. That's the only moving earth is going to do. You ain't never moved. This place has never moved, and the stars prove it. And this is why I mean about the truth. We're thinking that we're floating and spinning. So if we were spinning, couldn't we just fly up, let the world spin to the place we want to go, and fly right there? It should just take like what, however long it takes the world to spin. It shouldn't be that much time. Just let it spin. But we can go like with the helicopter and go around, and we should be able to go right through to the place we're going. It takes hours, 8-10 hours to get across the country, depending on where you are. Yeah, they're telling us the sun is 93 million miles away. What? I can see the sun right there. Or I can see the moon right there. That's supposed to be 300 and some 100,000, almost 400,000, I think. No, no, it's not. We just been told so many things, and we think people have figured it out. When really they're preaching a narrative. Even all the institutions, all the schools, they're given a curriculum to give to us. And so we have history, we have social studies, we have all these kind of things to where they're coaching us. They're showing us who we, and ain't nothing wrong with school and learning your basics, because that's all you really need is your basics as far as, you know, being able to write, read, do math, you know, that's basically what you need, the core of that. And then walk with spirit, get into your interests, get into what you love, start thinking individually, start thinking how you want to form and shape your life in the world. Yeah. And if you're a creative, what you're going to create today, because that's what it's all about. Sometimes you need a break and you just want to chill. You don't want to do nothing because you've done so much. That's the kind of life I live, y'all. I'm an artist. I live an artist life, but I also work in between. So a lot of hours. So I work 10 to 10 and a half hour days. And so I'm just enjoying my in-between days. I talk on here, try to give y'all the real because it's coming, y'all. I'm putting my foot on the gas of everything. I'm going to show y'all who is who with a lot of these actors. Y'all going to be like, is this dude tripping? No, I'm telling you the truth. And it's hard to digest because you would never think they would use these entertainers that way. Yeah, we say they sold their soul, but not in the way we think. It's in the deception. But they're getting away with it because we're hypnotized by the TV. We're hypnotized by, you know, the social events that are happening, on the news. Like it could be something going right now. They really, really go hard with it every time, like, and make it a show on the news. It's a whole dramatic scene and theme, because the theme is the constellations in the sky. Who is playing who in this story? Why are they playing this? Who is in the sky right now? Go check. So once they do a story, check the constellations in the sky. See if Orion is shooting somebody at a certain time. Because a lot of times it can be done on a holiday. It could be done anytime. They do it every day because they got to make history for that day. They got to say, well, this happened in the news on, you know, April, August, we're in August 4th, 2023 or 2024 or all the way back since. Yeah. And so that's what they do. They tie news stories to those days and post it like it's history. Whose story? Orion's story. It's supposed to be the year of our Lord. Well, the year of our Lord is Orion. And the whole crucifixion, we explain that. We show you what is happening with the stars. You got the two thieves. Like I said, you got Mary, both Marys. You got all the players in the story in the sky, and you can see it for yourself. Oh, she's the virgin, so she was Virgo in another story, like at Christmas time. So you got to understand, y'all, like when he died on the cross for 3 days, that's the solstice. That's the sun when it dies on the cross, which is noontime. It's a north-south, uh, it's a north-south pole. It's like a north-south meridian line, and then you have the ecliptic. So it's you could call it the ecliptic. You could call it the zodiacal belt. It's what's rising in the east and setting in the west. And so that's what they did. They created all kinds of characters and made it poetic and symbolic in a way that it hits your subconscious even deeper because they're making it real in the sky and on the ground, as above, so below. And when we wise up to the fact that God is way more simpler than the rules and regulations that we're being given, it's just don't steal. Don't steal from your neighbor, physically steal. Don't steal their woman or their man, or you steal someone's man or woman, or you commit adultery, or you cheat on your man. You got to pay all that back. It all comes back to you through life. Life will give you everything you can take. And if you start doing things off the path, then you find out, wow, life ain't playing with me right now. It's real difficult for me to move. I've like lost all my bridges through spirit. Like I have been really letting go and just doing my own thing and without any rules, hurting people, hitting licks, stealing, all this kind of stuff. It's supposed to hit your it's supposed to hit your conscience. Your conscience should tell you this is something right to do or something wrong to do, but we override it. When we want something or we want to do something, we override that and we go past the law, past the boundary of God's law or nature. If you do something like where you're hot-headed or cause a fight, this kind of stuff where you're instigating, all of that's coming back to you. We think it's just, I can say what I want to say. Yeah, you can, but you got to pay that back, you know? And it's what is it in your heart? Like, how intense do you mean what you're saying? And is it for show, you're acting, or is it that you really mean what you're saying, like spewing hate? I didn't tell y'all, but this dude called me a nigger. Uh, I didn't mean to say the word, but YouTube might not play this video. They ain't playing none of my videos. And so, or they're not showing them. I used to get a lot of like thousands, at least 2,000, 1,500, 1,000 people watching the videos. Now they hiding me. I'm cool with it. Like whoever finds it, finds it. It'll be organic like that. But yeah, they're playing us on every side, y'all. Really, and everything we say and everything we do is coming from them. They're giving us all of it. And the movies we discuss about, like, it's a brotherhood. And so these influences, like someone is gonna come save us. That's the whole superhero antic. Like, nobody's coming to save us, y'all. Nobody. You can believe your religion or whatever you want. I can show you him in the sky. He comes back every day, because they rotate from the above the horizon to the under the horizon where you can't see him, and then they rise again, or you can say resurrect, or however you want to say it, because they're coming from the underworld or the underground, which is hell, where the vampires and all the hellish things are. You got to understand, they template all that for under the horizon, where the sun is hot, flaming hell, under the ground, our ground in a sense, but it's not under our ground. It just, the sun just keeps moving to where we can't see it anymore. And in that travel, then they're going to Australia, down under, whatever you want to say, where it's daytime there, it's nighttime here. And that's how the wheel works. It's above the horizon, under the horizon, and back up again. So that template has been used so many times, so many ways. It's like, we got to get it, y'all. That's why I'm here talking, and I'm gonna, touch who I touch with what I'm saying. A lot of people probably gonna turn off soon because I'm bringing it, y'all. I'm not holding back no more. I gotta tell it like it is. I gotta tell y'all the truth, whether you want it or not. I'm like a big brother. Somebody told me I'm like a dad. What she say? You got dad energy, or dad something. And I thought that was so funny because I am like I'm a teacher, but I'm a truth teller, and I won't let nobody like try to manipulate me with what they're believing. You can believe, but at the same time, you can be played by your beliefs, and that's what's happening. They're playing on our heartstrings. They're playing on our take it from them strings, and that's what always happens. We got to take from them. We not doing things for ourselves in the sense of learning outside of what they're telling us. You can do that through spirit. God, start asking God questions. God will reveal to you the answers. He'll bring someone like me along, or he'll, wherever you are in that truth, whatever you looking for, once you see that God has ways, many different ways of bringing it to you, even in a song or a movie, God can do anything, and God can use anything. I'm telling you. My throat's so dry. Yeah, I've been rambling on long enough, but I really am going to show y'all what the deal. I really am going to go full force. You know, the videos that are coming are, you know, they're mind blowing, because you wouldn't think that these people are out here doing this